everyone. I am Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out and a thank you to everyone who came by at the fair in Eau Claire yesterday for coming by the booth, saying hi, what's up? And for those new connections that I've made, welcome to Your Essential Practice. I look forward to seeing y'all at the Unalaska Fair here this coming week. Right? Stay tuned to my social media in the description box below if you would like to be updated on when I'm making my postings and also where I'm going to be at what fair and what's going on with Your Essential Practice. All right. Today's rune reading is all about 6 heavenly bodies being in the sign of Aquarius by February 16th. You heard that right. 6. That's the sun, we got Mars, we got Venus that are those happening this week. Mars and Venus are both happening this week, and that's primarily what this rune reading is about. I have a lot of information in the description box below, so please check that out because I go into a lot of detail that I can't really cover here in a good amount of time. Also, we have Chiron in the sign of Aquarius. That's the wounded healer. And we also have Mercury and Pluto, all in the signs of Aquarius. Wow. This is truly the age of Aquarius. As we move along here, a lot of transformative, deep healing, a lot of profound changes are going to be happening. With this week, the Mars in Aquarius kicks off on February 13th and goes to March 22nd. On February 16th is the Venus in Aquarius that goes until March 9th here. Okay, so what does that mean to you? Mars is the planet of action. Mars is the planet of courage, and it's going to help initiate a lot of that movement forward, that progression, right? That Aquarius embodies. That Aquarius likes to challenge that status quo and likes to have things very, very openly communicated with not just the inner self, but our congregation, right? Our spiritual community, our families, our communities, really. Now, when Venus is in Aquarius, a lot of shifting and healing work is going to be done in the ways and the matters of the way we view love, understand love, reciprocate love, right? And not just that, though, because Venus also is about the finances, right? It's a little bit more about financial matters. So there are some good and some challenging aspects to all of that that's going to be going on as these planets continue their transits through Aquarius. Find out again what that means to you in the comment box below. Definitely research your charts too. Look up your charts. There's a lot of amazing astrology out there where your charts can be compared to what these current transits are getting into. But as far as getting into things, let's get into today's rune reading about Mars in Aquarius and Venus in Aquarius. How are we all doing today? This is the singing bowl. We're going to go ahead and cleanse this space energetically. And as usual, we have the $2 note here representing uncommon abundance in our lives. We're going to place that in the bowl as we ring out and simultaneously give gratitude while inviting more of the uncommon abundance into our lives. So while I ring this singing bowl, excuse me, a little frog in my throat there. I would like to invite you at this time to take 3 deep cleansing breaths and focus on today's rune reading. Mars in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius, 6 heavenly bodies in Aquarius. Find out how that Aquarius energy impacts you and your chart and the collective, and how we can best respond in healing and healthy ways. So 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. like to take this time to thank you for allowing me in this energetic space here with you. We're going to go ahead with the rune sets that I have made here today for these runes. All the runes that you see from here on out are available for purchase. Contact me at youressentialpractice@gmail.com for prices. All right, moving on with the reading. Our past energies are in Jara. This is a beautiful rune of harvest. This is of learning and growth, because when we harvest, we evaluate what we're harvesting, right? So this is gains, this is growth, this is learning, a lot of those aspects of self and how we are interacting with the collective. We've come to learn and grow quite a bit here in the recent past. Now, with Mars, the action planet, and Venus, the planet of beauty and finance, and love and emotions, right, is all about all these transformative changes, a lot of the deep healing work. So in the current energies, we could be dealing with a specific tower moment. This is Hagalas. This is the hail rune. This is a lot of, it could be a natural disaster, a literal natural disaster for you, or it could also be a type of transformative experience, like unintended eventuality, like unforeseen car repair, or you get laid off at your job or something like that. It's usually viewed with a lot of stigma towards the negative, a lot like that tower card in tarot goes. But like all natural disasters, like a volcano, right? A lot of destruction needs to happen and needs to clear the way for the most beautiful, most fertile soil on earth to be there, right? So a lot of this is clearing the way of what is no longer needed, and it's rebuilding our tower, right? So we can possibly look at that as the chakra system, right? Our chakra system needs to be tuned up and rebuilt. A lot of us are going through a lot of those transformative changes as we speak. A lot of signs are already in Aquarius. Aquarius loves to challenge that status quo. Aquarius knows how to communicate it too with the collective and how we relate to one another. So in the upcoming energies here, we're challenged to focus on our needs. This is now this. I like to call it now this. All right, because you're going down that path and now this log is across your path. Okay, lest that log stay there and become more aligned to your path, you become in this rune of Isa, which is ice, frozen, stuck, rigidity, right? This is repeating life lessons if we don't address those needs. However, if we do address those needs, it can transmute and be more like that X, that beautiful spiritual gifts and partnerships. Right? So addressing our needs in healthy ways is called upon, especially after this disruptive moment. This could also be a paradigm shift. This could be like an understanding that's kind of like, oh gosh, was I really acting that way? Or was I really behaving that way? So this harvest is going to shed some light on that, I believe. And it's going to really... this is, I think, more directed towards self than the outer, because this is all learning and growth, and this is going to help us view this in a different way, and knowing that we need to be more grounded, centered, addressing our needs. So a lot of us getting back into more of our basic practices as far as that goes. A lot of us maybe have been losing sight and just coasting a little bit with those spiritual and holistic practices. So you're being called to address those needs, whatever they may be. Have those difficult talks, have those difficult conversations, right? Make sure you're doing so in the most healthy ways. Make sure you're not coming off as very ego-centered, passive-aggressive, or patronizing, right? Just be very direct, thorough, communicative, and you'll be in your good fortune and success before you know it. This is the action taken for the best outcome position, and this is Solilo. This is the sun rune, right? This is everything the sun touches gives life to, right? It gives light to, it gives warmth to. right? So you can think of your actions needing to be that embodiment of the sun, being in your good fortune and sharing that light, sharing that warmth, sharing that life-giving energy with everyone and everything as we proceed. So that sun rune is a very beautiful rune because through addressing our needs, we get to lead by example. This is a calling to lead by example. We're, through healing ourselves, through our own harvest and growth and learning, through healing ourselves and addressing our needs, we're leading by example and shining that light, sharing that light for others. Like the saying goes, as I work to light my path for others, I also light my own path. Okay, so the sun lights everybody's path. So you can embody those qualities of the beautiful rays of the sun. That's beautiful energy, y'all. This Mars and Venus coming up here, beautiful stuff, a lot of transformations, right? Your thoughts, feelings, and emotions are in those partnerships, spiritual gifts. Remember what I said, if we transform and transmute these energies from the novice in healthy ways, it'll become Gibo. It'll become the rune of gifts and partnerships. Okay, those are your thoughts, feelings, and emotions right now, where they're heading, and they're in very healthy places. Okay, so just make sure you're keeping those enhanced and you're doing well by yourself and by others, that you are, very open and honest with yourself and others. Okay, let's see what the possible problems is on this. Possible problems are in a damaged divine feminine. This could mean, this is Lagus, this is the lake rune, this is a lot of intuition, a lot of dream work, and emotional healing, right? So if we're not addressing these in healthy ways, we do risk that connection or that divine feminine connection, right? And the intuition will suffer when we are selfish and self-centered and not doing these in healthy ways, especially when it comes to recovering from whatever this tower moment is. Okay, so I'd like to remind you here that there are no accidents and everything is divinely guided and needs to be accepted as such, right? Because through this moment, we're in growth and learning. This harvest right before this is like a good fortune and luck in itself. So you know how to address these needs and to lead by example, all right? And increase your partnerships and your gifts, okay? And when you're doing that in healthy ways, you won't be risking this intuition or this healed divine feminine work much at all. All right, so possible outcome, this is beautiful. This is Kinas, this is the torch. Think of this as like that somebody holding a lantern here and that light is shining outward, right, from this lantern. So this is more lighting of that path. You are the torch, you are blazing the trail. You're moving forward. This is a lot of good progressive fire type energy. So the fire type energy, that's a lot of progress, a lot of initiations, a lot of just really leading by example through all this beautiful work. Okay, so how does this apply to Venus and Mars, both being in Aquarius in the same week? So Mars is the action planet, and Venus is the planet of finance and love. Mars, it gives you the courage too to overcome this. A lot of how we're viewing our love and finances is shifting. And Mars gives us the action and the courage to heal and grow from this and to lead by example, because we have more of a refinement of that embodiment of Venus, of where our finances and love life want to be, or need to be actually, because the sun is going to be illuminating a lot of dark corners in all of our lives and collectively. So Mars, the planet of action and courage, is really going to be strengthening this sort of partnerships, our interconnectivity, and so will Venus, really, because this is how we view love. This is how we understand and experience and express love. Also, self-employment, I believe, those of you who are looking at starting something new, whether that's a relationship or a career, you will be blessed during this time, but be ready for that shakeup to be happening right around the beginning of these times, okay? Towards the end of the transit of Venus in Aquarius, we're going to have potentially some of these moments to reflect on, okay? Because there's going to be more square aspects. Again, look at the comments down below for those aspects and what the heads up on those are, okay? Because Mars and Chiron, when it gets towards the end of that transit, they're going to be expressing a lot of divine, very profound, very, very deep healing work. And it's going to give you that motivation to probably learn a new spiritual practice. Okay, so while we're in that increase of spiritual practices, just beware that you're addressing that divine feminine in very healthy ways, that your intuition is being listened to, okay, and that you are communicating your emotions in healthy ways. As we work to light the path for others, so too do we light the path for ourselves. Look at these, all three of these together make a beautiful triangle. Okay, the only one that can be reversed a little bit is this one, this Kinas. The Sun Rune cannot be reversed. Jera cannot be reversed. Kinas, though, it can shine the light in a focused way. Okay, so make sure that you're facing forward, right? That you are shining the light maybe on that path for yourself and for others. You're leading by example. This is such a beautiful rune reading, y'all. A lot of blessings and abundance, a lot of profound changes, profound healing work to be done during these transits. Now let's get some cards for clarity. These are messages from divine, directly to your spirit, directly to your soul. These are the soul's journey oracle deck. And we're going to get more cards of clarification from divine for today's rune reading. So divine, please show us clearly, what card of clarification do you have for us today for the Mars and Venus, both going into Aquarius during this week? Mars and Aquarius, that's 6 heavenly bodies in the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is exalted, Aquarius season. This is the age of Aquarius, right? Empathy. This says, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation, right? How I like to call it too, there are 3 sides to every argument, right? Every misunderstanding. There's both of the opposing sides, the duality of it, and then the middle, where empathy reigns and the truth is. Okay? So the middle, the common ground, the empathy is a beautiful card to pull during this transformative healing work. We could be called to be more in our empath sort of work here moving forward. Again, this says, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. And to continue, let's read more about this card. You don't truly understand others' motivations if you haven't lived their lives and seen the world through their eyes. It is so easy to judge another's behavior matched up against your own label against your own label it as right or wrong. Okay, so that's a trapping of the ego, right? Whether it's right or wrong, okay? There's 3 sides to this. There's right, there's wrong, there's in the middle where the empathy is, okay? But you're missing the important part of the equation, the other person's history and personal health. We're all sparks of the divine with a purpose here of the physical dimension, and we can all exert our free will. Some of us have lost our way along the path to love, and it is a human reaction to judge others before examining their journey through their eyes
and with compassion. Your job is not to judge. Your job is to love and understand. Lead by example. Love and understand. Don't judge, right? The sun can be a nice, gentle force, right? That luck, the good fortune, that abundance can be shared with everyone. The gnosis, the healing. These are messages from the fairies. The fairies are divinely guided beings who are very communicative here recently during this time of Aquarius season. Whom do you need to forgive? As you release old anger or resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Whom do you need to forgive during this time? Y'all, this is a great time for healing work. Beautiful time for healing work. That Mars and Venus exalted in the sign of Aquarius, this is really, it could mean a lot of tower moments, but those aren't bad. That just means you get to have those opportunities to reevaluate, reshift, rebuild your new gifts and partnerships. A lot of us will be learning new spiritual practices here. New ways of understanding, and exemplifying our behaviors. Whom do you need to forgive? Let's read more about this card. All right. As a reminder, it says, as you release anger and resentment, you will find that your wishes will come true. Continuing on, it says, this card indicates that your prayer will be answered as you release yourself from the inability to offer forgiveness. While you may feel justified in your anger, the truth is that your resentment is only hurting you. The rage you're carrying is blocking your deepest desires. Go outside and ask the fairies and spirit of nature to clear your mind, body, and emotions of lower energies. This is a great time for grounding work, y'all. You'll benefit enormously by making the decision to detoxify yourself of old anger and resentment. Forgive yourself and be cleared of toxic guilt is an additional meaning for this card. Others are reduce judgmental thoughts about yourself or others, or send an apologetic note to someone, or stop identifying yourself as a victim and see yourself as powerful. Mars in Aquarius will help you do that, y'all. And finally, focus on the present instead of the past. Light that path and just be you. Forget yesterday. It's already forgotten you. Don't worry about tomorrow, because worrying is a terrible misuse of imagination. Instead, be creative with the now and how you exemplify your behavior. Be the change you want to see, right? Be that person that you would like to meet down the street. Let's pull a meditative chakra token for enhancing today's rune reading. This will help carry on the meaning of today's rune reading through our meditative practices. And y'all, this is taking place right before Pisces season, which will be starting here next week. So we have the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra is one of my favorites, and it was one of the toughest ones that I had to work on to heal. A lot of starting this channel was working on that throat chakra. So this is a lot of that communication, okay, how we understand and the intuition that we have with this communication, right? Whom do you need to forgive? That needs to be spoken. If it's yourself, that's one of the hardest things to do. Trust me, I understand that, okay? But you do need to have that mirror work, right? Look in the mirror, say you forgive yourself. Y'all, I do have another video that has a thumbnail of a lotus blossom. That is a declaration of sovereignty, and it has a prayer to yourself, thanking yourself, reinforcing that. So just make sure you're into your spiritual practices during this time, because this is a time of transformative healing and expressing yourself. Okay, the 741 hertz is the solfeggio frequency for the throat chakra, and it's located in the center of the neck, and it's your expression center, right? You get to express your empathy and express your forgiveness and express your leadership by example, express your healing, express your partnerships and spiritual gifts, leading by example, okay? If you're someone who is shy or has difficulty expressing themselves or is arrogant, then you're showing signs of a blocked throat chakra. Listening to the solfeggio frequency of 741 hertz, that's 741, is a way to achieve balance there. Once you've opened your throat chakra, you'll speak your truth, express yourself clearly, and be able to listen to your intuition a lot more readily. Okay. The throat chakra mantra is Ham, H-A-M, and this is a beautiful mudra. The mudra for this is, remember here's the church, here's the steeple, open the doors and see all the people. So this is similar to that. It's just we're keeping those people right there. We're just folding our hands, but keeping the knuckles in. Okay, and then these fingers, the thumb and the forefinger, stay interlocked. So you're having like a chain with that. And then through this, we are closing our wrists, holding this in front of our throats, right? And reciting Ham, H-A-M, this beautiful blue turquoise energy emanating throughout your throat and your body as 741 hertz solfeggio frequency is playing is such beautiful healing work, y'all. Get into your empathy, get into your leadership and good fortune by example, your healing work, addressing your needs in a very non-ego-centered way. Be that example that you want to see. Be the you would like to meet. Forgive others and forgive yourself.
Thank you once again for allowing me in this energetic space here with you. I've been Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. That mudra, once again, is we're just taking all these fingers, we're folding them in. Okay, we're locking in the thumb and the forefingers so they don't come apart. Just closing our wrist over that, holding this in front of our throat, going hum, H-A-M, hum, hum. With the 741 hertz solfeggio frequency playing will help your expression center, your intuition center, your understandings, and expressions, right? This is beautiful work, beautiful healing work. So the Mars and the Venus, both in Aquarius, all 6 of those heavenly bodies in the sign of Aquarius, just really get into what that means to you, really just that understanding, right? The whole leading by example is paramount here through these transformative changes, right? Beware of the false light. Beware of, these pitfalls of the ego that want to say, okay, it's this or that, right? Be in your empathetic body. Practice the forgiveness, especially of yourself when you make those mistakes. It's how we respond that totally matters, right? Everybody reacts, but it's really how long you react that matters on if it becomes a response or not. Remember, neurons that fire together, wire together. That's the whole basis of addiction. So when we reinforce those positive behaviors, when we skip into something like, I was about to have this thought of something really negative, of a very negative polarity aspect, and it's the way I'm responding. So if we don't get upset with ourselves, so we practice that forgiveness of ourselves, or the forgiveness of the person that helped us think that way in the first place, right? That's a very profound way to reinforce the behavior of getting onto that healing path and living a more holistically healthy and mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, spiritually healthy life, okay? So definitely leave a comment with any questions, comments, or concerns. I appreciate your feedback, y'all. If you would like a rune reading from me to you specifically, message me at youressentialpractice@gmail.com. Also, I have these necklaces, all these rune sets for sale. Message me at youressentialpractice@gmail.com. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I would like you to have a blessed and abundant day. Namaste.